welcome to Sensibly Cynical. My name is Sean, and with me yet again is Frank Jack. What's up, Frank?
What's up, Sean? Can I call you Snowflake Sean from now on?
That's fine. Hey, Frank, did you know this was our 50th episode?
I did. You haven't stopped talking about it since about episode 40.
This is huge.
If I forgot, I'd have to be mentally challenged.
Well, I mean, this is a pretty big deal.
I know, you keep telling me.
Hey, Frank,
What?
I have a surprise for you. With us on the line, returning to Sensibly Cynical, Christy Monroe. Hey, Christy.
Hi.
All right, thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
So, since you were last on the show, what have you been up to?
I've been on tour, trying to nonstop, working on a TV show, finishing a book that I wrote, working on a movie.
What's the name of the book you wrote?
Something ridiculous.
Something Ridiculous. I like it. Do you know about what time you'll be done with it, when it'll be in stores?
Hopefully, sending it to the publisher within the next week.
Wow.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's huge.
Nice.
Yeah, worked really hard on it, like 48,000 words.
Oh, wow. Is that more about your liking comedy? Is it like nonfiction or is it fiction?
It's actually a really sad memoir about my life from ages 11 to 13.
Oof.
Oh, so you get really like personal with it?
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
hopefully it does well. I mean, I'm sure it will.
I hope so.
Okay, so what were you for Halloween? So you worked both nights last weekend? Or weekend
Yep.
before?
Yeah, Friday night I was a clown, like a sexy clown.
Yeah, right.
And then Saturday night I was the angel.
Nice. Did you do your own makeup? Like,
Mm-hmm.
nice.
I actually made both of my own costumes.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. So have you been to like LA much, or where have you traveled? Like, are you still continuing, like you said in the last show, going from coast to coast?
Yeah, I go to LA like, I don't know, at least once a month basically.
Right.
I headlined in Mesa, Arizona. Been
Yeah.
doing a lot of shows in Chicago and Boston. I
Right.
just got booked on a bunch of shows in Florida and a bunch of shows in Ohio.
Nice.
Nice. So you're going down to what, Miami in there?
Yeah, the next time I'm going to be down there, I'll be in the Tampa area and then headlining in Oakland Park.
Okay, nice.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you saying something about that, Oakland Park.
Yep.
So you still doing like the same style? Are you, when you were headlining, what about the Bringer Scam?
I mean, bringer shows are always going to be a thing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And they go on in other places, but I refuse to participate in them.
Right.
So what show are you working on? You said you were working on a show?
Yeah, in the development stages with some producers.
So can you give us a sneak peek, or what's the
Sneak peek
like?
about strip clubs.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Favorite kind of shows?
we saw on Instagram you were doing a lot of skits,
Mm-hmm.
like was that with local comedians or?
Yeah, just trying to get some ideas out there.
Okay, so you're trying to see what's going on, or
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a show coming up at Producers Club on November 17th. So follow me on Instagram. It's Stripper Comedian, and I'll be posting the information for that there.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on for our 50th episode.
Thank you. Hope to talk to you guys soon.
So, Frank, were you surprised?
Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't expect Chrissy to be on.
Yeah, it was good to hear from her.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
definitely was.
Of
It
course.
looked like her career is definitely taking off, and
Yeah.
it's good for her. I mean, success is awesome.
All right. So, what do you really want to talk about today?
Oh, well, stuff that I've been thinking about a long time. I was thinking about social vampirism and stuff like
Really?
that. Yeah, it's thinking about it a lot lately. You know, I went home a few months ago for a wedding. Cultures are definitely different in New York, and I've been going home quite a bit for quite a few weddings.
Yeah, I know you
And,
were going back to New York, so.
Yeah, so I've been thinking a lot. You know, how sometimes we fit in with certain people, and sometimes we don't fit in with certain people.
Right.
And you know, sometimes I get into a slump. I really do. I get into a real deep, dark depression sometimes when I feel like I don't connect well with people, and it really takes a toll on you. You know, especially sometimes when you live alone. You know, it just really takes a deep, dark toll on you. You know, sometimes you feel like you're alone.
Sometimes it's good to go home though to recharge.
No,
and,
sometimes it is.
You know.
It all depends. Some people get their energy from being around people. Some people get their energy from being around by themselves.
Right.
Now, but the thing about social vampirism, and you know, I've been self-reflecting a lot.
Sure.
And I had a lot of time on my hands. But when I've been self-reflecting, and so social vampirism is when you're around people that kind of take energy. It's like being a job, being around them, and they suck your energy out of you. And so I've been, reflecting on myself a lot. So wondering, am I that social vampire? Am I the person when I'm around?
Is it you that's doing it, or is it?
Is that why sometimes I feel like people don't want to be around me? Am I just too much? Am I putting too much strain on people? So I've been doing a lot of self-reflection on that, and maybe trying to talk less when I'm around people. Mm-hmm. And then you also realize there's people that you're around sometimes that, sometimes you feel like you'd rather be alone than be with them because they actually suck the energy out of you.
Could it be about beliefs? Like what you like?
I don't think it's always about beliefs.
Like beliefs and political views. Could
be.
Could that be like a turnoff for some people?
That could be. That definitely could be. I don't think anyone should ever take politics or anything else that seriously, but other people obviously do. But it can also be about people over talking about their stresses. I know there's a lot of times there's some things in my life that really drain me, and I talk about them too much, and that could be taxing to other people. And it goes back to a lot of things like dating and other things. A lot of times people, they want to be around people that are fun, exciting, and they want to be a part of that
someone
fun.
that makes them feel better about themselves and makes them better overall.
Not really so much, but you want to be a person that you want to be around.
Right.
Not someone that's
Takes
in
you
the
down.
dirt all the time and always down.
Sure.
You don't want to be around that type of energy. And so I think, so being socially aware of your surroundings is a big thing. And that's very important.
So explain exactly what like a vampire is.
So vampire,
are we talking about like in mythology, or is it just like is it
so vampires are things that suck blood.
Right. Okay.
I don't know about you. I'm a big fan. I've always been a big fan of Vampire Diaries, the originals, and now Legacies is starting. True Blood. I almost feel like a girl to the fact that I love vampires so much. But they suck the energy out of you. Blood is energy. That's why mystically vampires love the blood because it's supposed to signify energy. So when someone's a social vampire, they're taking the joy out of you. And a lot of it is people like to be around people that like to talk about money. Some people like to be around people that like to talk about music and stuff. A lot of times you just got to realize there's certain people that just aren't for you. You know what I mean? You can't be friends with everybody, unfortunately. And also other times you have to realize sometimes you grow separately than other people too as well.
Right, and you change as you get older.
That is true. That is true.
Not everyone stays the same. You learn from your mistakes and you grow. You know?
But I think a big part is you can't lock yourself down key. And a lot of times, I had a lot of this in college.
Right.
Where I felt so negatively about myself that I tried to push me down and kind of lock it up and try to be the person people wanted me to be.
Right.
And that just made me darker and angrier. And then eventually
you changed yourself to make the other person feel better.
No, not really. I think a lot of times I wanted to be...
Or to please the other person.
No, I think a lot of times, especially when you're younger, you want to please, your parents, your grandparents, and a lot of people that, put you on a pedestal that necessarily you don't feel like you can live up to. Right. And so sometimes, you do get into stuff. You get into alcohol, you get into drugs, you get into this stuff. And sometimes when you want to correct that, you think, well, instead of finding a balance, that part of me is garbage, and you lock that in a key. And for instance, I used to listen to a lot of rap, and so I started trying to listen to a lot of country, thinking that would make me more of the person that maybe people wanted to see, and all it did was make me angrier.
So, what do you do with that anger? Do you take it out on the gym? Do you how do you channel that anger? Do you go see a therapist?
You gotta you gotta be the real you. No, I mean, sometimes you channel anger through working out, sometimes. People use that in a negative way. I've used it in a negative way many times. I've definitely taken my anger out on people when it wasn't their fault. But the thing about it is, flip the anger. You know what I mean?
Right, turn it into something positive.
No, screw it. Oh. Be yourself. You shouldn't have to be ashamed of who you are.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's true.
If you want to go and you want to drink, as long as you do it respectfully, you shouldn't feel guilty about drinking.
Like me. I've began socially drinking again, for those who don't know. I was sober for 2 months. And I got healed up medically, and now I'm socially drinking, like right now. Champagne. I mean, so...
look at you badass.
Well, it's to celebrate our 50th episode, Frank. By the way, you want to give me some more bubbly right quick?
So this is the 50th episode, you keep telling me.
But no, seriously. No, it's been a good road, long road, but we're 50. Back to social vampire... What is it? Social vampirisms?
social vampirism is just basically sucking the life out of people. But feel like people that are that way is because of their own insecurities.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, and that's, where people, you run into things like suicide, drug abuse.
Right.
Not saying that, that comes from personal weakness. People that do that are weak. And that's all there is to it.
Sometimes people, they take drugs and
it's because they're weak.
And also sometimes, genetically, some people think that depression's, is, something that you can't help, be depressed.
I've been clinically depressed since like 5th grade. You can fucking help it.
Well,
you make your own life.
What do you think about people that
I went to this real estate guild that I guess I'm still a part of. I just don't go anymore because I don't have time.
Right.
But the thing about it is, he said, Rich, it's your fault. If you're poor, it's your fault. If you're divorced, it's your fault. If your kids are great, it's your fault. If your kids suck, it's your fault. Everything in life is your fault. And you have to own up to it. And you have to make a better way for yourself.
Because you only live once, so you think you'd want to, based on that fact. You think you'd want to make it the best life you can possibly make it.
Things happen. Life's not perfect. But you gotta fight. You know what I mean? You gotta fight. I know people that, I was actually talking to someone a few weeks ago, and I said to him, I go, you don't have to fight anymore. Why do you keep fighting? I wouldn't fight if I didn't have to. And they said, I just like fighting. I like this. I like the fight. I like the chase. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Somebody who likes to have a challenge all the time.
Right.
Not be settled. It's those people that don't like to be settled.
Yeah.
It's like when something, I know people like that. It's like they can't, when something's like bored, they get bored with stuff. It's like they try to find something,
Well, no, some people want to feel their own purpose. Sometimes people, I feel like, can't find their own purpose in themselves, and they want to find a purpose outside.
Yeah.
And that purpose to keep going. And, for me, I feel like sometimes you just got to know when it's time to throw the towel and move on. Me, I don't. I have a problem with not giving up. And personally, I also
hence why we're still doing this podcast?
You just keep coming over. I keep telling you not to.
No, but in all seriousness, I think this is a serious subject. I mean, people need to realize when to cut someone off. Like, that's why, what do you think about social vampires? Like, that's the reason why people break up a lot of the times. It's because people, they get tired of the significant other bringing them down, complaining, not doing dishes,
Not doing dishes?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, people that get tired of running the house and... But anyways, yeah. I mean, people get tired of doing chores and... that's a real thing. What?
Every time you talk, I want to call the ambulance.
No, but listen. Stop.
Sometimes you gotta be an adult. You gotta own up to your shit. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we get that job. It doesn't pay as much as we want. We gotta go get another job. We don't like it. That's how life is. That's why you gotta make your money while you can, and you gotta invest it.
Right.
You gotta prepare for the.
Which is why you're gonna help me out, right? Financially, and set me up with the stockbroker.
I tried, but you gotta work harder.
No, you know what I mean?
You don't work hard. The thing about it is, I already lost 50% 1 week. 1 week.
Yeah. What'd you spend it on? The strip club?
No, I spent it on a stock I invested in. I know it's going to come back because it's a sound company. It's going to come back, and the market's really negative now. But you got to... sometimes those things happen. Sometimes you take a shot. You got to be prepared for the future, though. You know what I mean? You have to have enough money where you'll be okay in the short term.
Right. No, I agree. I mean... What else is on your mind for the 50th episode? I'll say it again.
I could just imagine you, getting money. I tell you what to invest in. It goes down. You cry. Oh, Frank, you're wrong. It comes back. It always comes back higher.
Frank, I want to really talk about this on this episode. I don't think, have we, in the 49 episodes that we've done, have we had a serious podcast about finances?
Yeah, we tried. We realized you know nothing about it.
Well, no, this is why I want to give you the floor, and you talk, and you give some financial advice to our listeners. So basically, how should people go about, with stocks, invest, and how often should they change stocks, know when to dip?
So, First and foremost, you have to start with, now if you look at the Asian culture, right?
Right.
The Asian culture, they get a lot of praise in this country, and so did the Jewish culture for the money that they have.
Right.
And that doesn't happen by mistake. Especially if you can read books. A lot of things they do in the Asian culture, if you notice, you ever go to cities, they got like 10 of them living in one 2-bedroom apartment. And the reason
it's not to save money, and
the reason is they're trying to live on only 30% of their income.
Yeah, they're trying to save money
and save the 60%. And I was actually Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. He's on CNBC.
Kevin O'Leary,
and he said, he was actually saying that he's a millionaire, multi-millionaire.
Well, yeah,
he only spends money on what he wants.
He's got so much money
buy extra things.
Yeah,
and he just takes the other money and he invests it. So that's the first thing. Is living a lifestyle where you can actually have some money left over to save. And once you have the money to save, that's when you invest it. Now, there's always bright stocks in the market, and you have to know how. Now, a lot of people say diversify. I don't necessarily say diversify. Diversify if you have
what's
no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Explain what diversify is in the financial world.
When you diversify your funds, what you do is you kind of hedge your bets.
Right.
So you put it you spread it in a lot of different sectors.
Sure.
Or different business units, and you spread your money around. Now, a lot of people do that. I don't necessarily like it. If you want to do that, I mean, there's some good mutual funds you can do it.
Right.
A lot of people, what they do is they could just do the ones that mirror the market, like the NYC or the S&P.
Sure.
And that's probably your best bet over a long period of time. I mean, there's a lot of funds, some funds that do outperform the market. A lot of them, they become closed after a while. Don't let new investors in.
Right.
But very few do outperform the market. So if you just ride the market mirrors, like S&P 500 mirrors or something like that, and funds that do that, really that's probably your best bet over the long period to make money. Sometimes you can dip into some stocks. Stocks are obviously more volatile.
So how about fast food joints like McDonald's and stuff? Do people really mess with those, or are those really?
Yeah, you can mess with those.
Like
stocks like that. Typically those bigger, more developed companies.
Right.
They get to a point of plateauing in their growth.
Right. So they stay the same. That makes sense.
What they do is they pay dividends. They use the extra money and pay dividends to their shareholders, and that kind of keeps the pot sweet for them. Other companies, like Google and Apple, they're always expanding and researching new technology. So, so by doing all that, that's why they don't really pay dividends, because their stock keeps growing. You can go into some emerging markets. A lot of people, what they're doing now are more of those stocks of consumer staples, things that people actually need.
Oh, okay.
Not the extra things. That's what people are doing right now. And the reason they're doing it is because the market's down 11%. Now, the reason a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's going to be the Great Recession again. Well, what happens is the market, goes
right,
down.
2008 and
yeah. Well, what happens is the market goes down about 14% every year.
Yeah.
It just didn't last year. And so people are, it's been choppy this year, and people are just upset. Plus, we have the tariffs because we're playing chicken with China right now.
Yeah, well, Frank, I got a question for you. So, since it's been 10 years since the Great Recession, do you know why that started? What happened? Money wasn't coming in from overseas, or
no? What happened is they do. No offense, Sean, but I can see you doing this.
Well, let's talk about the Great Recession.
What caused the Great Recession was
back in the day.
So what happened in the Great Recession is. It all started with Bill Clinton. So what happened with Bill Clinton is we had a booming economy. He got this idea that even if you make minimum wage living in McDonald's, you should be able to buy a house.
Right.
That's not right. That's not true. I mean, if you make the minimum amount to live, you can't live in middle class because you're just not middle class.
Yeah, Bill was too busy, with Monica Lewinsky and...
Okay, you want to listen to important shit?
No,
okay.
No, go ahead.
So anyway, and people do this. They do this all the time in politics.
Right.
He decided to get rid of they made the Glass-Steagall Act, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then what happened was under the Glass-Steagall Act is it made basically saving banks and investment banks from combining, right?
Sure.
So, look, it's been so many years from 1929. We learned our fucking lesson. So he got rid of that act, and the big banks combined again, and they didn't learn their lesson, obviously. They just couldn't because of the law. So what happened was, and the biggest thing, though, was subprime mortgages. And so what happened is, what people are doing is they get this idea. Now they get this. They did this in New York State with pension funds. And now, if you haven't noticed, New York State's a garbage state. It's broken. Thanks, Cuomo. But anyway, but what happened is they get this idea. Investors, politicians mostly, get these stupid ideas. And so what they think is that the real estate market will go up forever. I've been talking to people that bought houses now, and they're like, my house will just appreciate forever. No. Everyone always thinks that. It's not true. So what they thought was, housing prices will go down.
Right.
Will always go up housing prices will go up forever. So what they did was they just gave money to anyone who had a heartbeat. Oh yeah, you want this? Give it. And you just pay the interest, and when you sell it at so you just pay the interest, for the life of the loan. When you sell the house, since prices always go up, you just pay off the mortgage balance, and then you make a profit. They literally thought that's how that would work. It would work.
Right.
And so they would just write these mortgages, A+, didn't know anything about the goddamn guy. He could have been a drug dealer. They didn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't care. So what they did was, then, you had companies like Goldman Sachs and stuff buying these mortgages. Obviously, they realized this is going to... Then eventually, the houses got too expensive. People couldn't keep buying more and more expensive houses, working at Walmart and McDonald's. And so they couldn't keep buying more expensive houses, and eventually housing prices dropped. And these people had houses...
So they freaked out and...
Well, no. Housing prices dropped. So these people thought, I'll just sell my house for a profit, and I'll just make a profit. And it'd be a sure thing. Didn't realize that, oh crap, housing prices are going down. I'm underwater. I can't afford this house anymore. I'm screwed. And now everyone's defaulting on their loans. They can't pay their loans anymore.
And it just accrued,
And what happened was, Goldman Sachs and other banks were like, shoot, this is bad if this happens, right? Right. So what they did was they told AIG, they go, yo, listen, this is what we're going to do. We want you to make insurance policies on these subprime mortgages. And AIG's like, no, I can't do that. We can't do that. And they're like, no, just do it. Just do it. We're going to hedge against them. Don't worry, they won't ever go down.
Right.
What happened was the market went down. All these people were like, we're going to cash in on these properties on AIG.
Sure.
These AIG insurance policies. AIG's like, we don't have the fucking money. So then the insurance policies couldn't pay out the claims, and everything just fell apart.
Right. Well, the fact of the matter is, since then, things really improved, right? I mean, how long did it take how long was the Great Recession? How long did it last?
A few years. It's only lasted a few years. Now, what happened was you had Ben Bernanke of the Federal Reserve, and so what he did was he just kept pouring money into the banks, right, to give them money to lend.
Sure. And
shrink rates. Well, now what happened was, and then, under the Obama administration, they made Dodd-Frank, which basically was supposed to go back to Glass-Steagall that Bill Clinton got rid of, so that this never happened again. And but how do I say this? Barack Obama is a lawyer. He's not a businessman. So when they wrote
Dodd-Frank... Yeah, he was a junior senator, wasn't he?
Right, so when they wrote Dodd-Frank, they just were like, don't do anything dishonest. And the banks were like, what does that mean? What does that mean, not do anything dishonest? So what can we do, what can't we do? Just don't do anything wrong. But we don't know what that means.
Yeah, we don't know the ground rules.
Tell us what we can and can't do.
Yeah.
And so that led to some problems. Banks didn't know what they could do.
Right.
And so Ben Bernanke is giving all these banks, with the quantitative easing and the bailouts, giving all these banks, and now we're in a credit crunch. They're not lending money. And they're like, why aren't you lending money? And because we don't know who to give it to and who not to give it to.
Right.
And we're afraid the Great Recession is going to happen again.
Right, everyone's being cautious. They
right,
don't want to repeat.
And things started to get better because quantitative easing, so Ben Bernanke basically threw a bunch of money at the market, and people were just buying stocks because interest rates were so low. They're like, well, we got to make more money in these stocks because we can't make shit on interest rates and bonds, so we're just going to keep buying stock. So the stock market just went artificially heavy.
Right.
And you got Trump, he deregulated things, and they just kept going higher. Mm-hmm. And it's going higher now. It's pulling back a little bit. The Fed's actually like, we're going to get rid of quantitative easing. We're going to raise interest rates. So we'll see what happens. Trump's got the terrorists trying to play hardball with China. So we'll see what happens from now on. But
hardball with China. You like that, right? That turns you on, Frank.
Oh, it honestly gives me money. I hate China. But, no, but I but that's basically how
the Great Recession
happened.
Yeah.
And actually, that brings me to another thing, because you said Trump. People are really negative on this thing that's going on, the caravan.
Right.
And because they're like, oh, there's people that they're fleeing their countries. Now, I talked to some people that have...
what about the people from Guatemala, coming over?
Well, I've talked about people that have been maybe in jail before, years ago, and they were saying how, like, when Castro emptied out his nutcase houses, right? What he did was with those is he America said if anyone can get to Miami, you're a citizen, right? And what he did was he laced all those nutcases with drug dealers, and then he spread drugs that way. So because it's coming from a drug-ridden country, right? And you see a lot of them don't have tattoos, and all these gangsters usually have tattoos. You know what I mean? So
brands,
So because they don't have tattoos, you know that they're trying to blend in and not look suspicious. So they're sending people. So basically, what they're doing is they're gonna do what they did in Cuba. They're gonna lace these people with drug dealers and stuff, and try to really expand drop drugs into America, and these cartels are really trying to break it in America real quick. So and they were saying that Venezuela and stuff are funding it. And the thing about that is, people are like, well, they're playing on their heartstrings, so they're like, we gotta let it in. But historically, every time this happens, it's usually a country trying to spread cartels, and they're just using people that are trying to get away from it as bait, so that they gotta get let in, and then they pair them with cartels to kind of take over the country with drugs.
Right.
And historically, that's what happens.
Right. How can someone prevent? What's the prevention method? To stuff like that.
Well, you see what Trump's doing?
Yeah.
He's basically what Trump said is he said, if you get asylum, you can come here. If you don't get asylum, you're not coming.
Right. So
the people that the UN's not giving asylum to, they're not coming in. And he put 5,200 troops on the border to make sure.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you think about what's going on with the sports landscape?
I hate Boston.
The Red Sox won the World Series, and did you watch that game?
Did
you watch that series? I
hate Boston.
Did you see that one game that went 18 innings?
Yes, and I still said it.
That was crazy.
You know what I did during that game? Watch the fuck.
Well, that was important. It was Game 3. Boston was up 2-0, Frank, and the Dodgers kept fighting back, and then went 18 innings, and they won Game 3, and then Boston just said, "I've had enough."
I'd rather be tortured
and won
than watch
two
baseball.
Other games.
I'd really rather be tortured than watch baseball.
And the NFL, what's going on with the NFL? The Giants and Jags are both not doing very good.
The funny thing about the Giants is Eli Manning is kind of not even
the Browns
a quarterback
just
anymore.
fired their coach.
But Eli Manning for the Giants really isn't a quarterback anymore. He's more of like a statue that they're protecting. Because he doesn't move like, people are like, well, he's not fast. He doesn't have to be fast. He literally just has to move it all.
Right.
And he doesn't. You had Oliver Vernon return the fumble yesterday. 40 yards, setting up. All you need a few yards to kick a field goal. He couldn't even do that. The dude is just done. He's done. And I was thinking the other day, I was like, why is Eli Manning's only good years when the team is garbage and has no talent? And then I thought about it, and I thought, wait, is he really good, or is he just the same and everyone else is just that much worse?
Yeah, well, what do you think about this rookie, Kyle Lauletta, from Richmond? Are you worried that since he's from a small school, he won't, even though he set records at Richmond, are you scared about, him making the step up?
We're 1-7. Eli doesn't move.
Their backup Tanny is just a body. I don't think they would put
we could literally put Elmo in there at quarterback for all I care.
Yeah, well, I don't think they'd put Tanny in. I think they should just,
I said Elmo.
No, I know, but I'm saying I think they should give
Sesame Street.
I know, but I think they should give Lauletta a try because there's a reason why they drafted him. What are you gonna do when you're 1-7? You might as well throw the kid in and see what happens.
Absolutely. I guess.
Frank, did you hear about the Jaguars? Can I talk about this?
They suck.
No, can I talk about what happened in London?
They suck.
You hear about the 4 players who went to the club? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I thought it was. It wasn't.
No, 64,000. I read the article.
Oh, well, I also read that it was 45,000.
64.
They used in pounds, but, obviously they were in London. They used pounds. But what I'm saying is it was 64,000 in U.S. dollars. But what happened was, these 4 guys, they get there a little early. The Eagles were smart. They had a Friday curfew, and these guys, they think they're so entitled. We had a great year last year, and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go into London and win since we've dominated in London. And guys, they get there earlier, and Church is spinning the story like it was a team bonding. It's like, no, it wasn't. You went to the club with your homies, got fucked up. And then it's like time flies and it's 2 a.m. and you're like, shit. It's like, and you read the bill and you're out of pounds and you're like, crap, what do I do? So they started talking shit with the bouncer, Frank, and, why One thing led to this is what I read. One thing led to another. The bouncer said, "Get the fuck out," and then so they tried to dip, and they called the police, and next thing you know, I'm reading an article saying that 4 Jaguars are being idiots. And here's what the sad part is. As much as I like them, and I think that the NFL in Jacksonville's setting a bad precedent by letting them play the next day. It was Friday night their time, so the game was Sunday afternoon. And then of course the bullshit reasoning was we'll handle it internally, and it's because they're desperate for a win.
When you suck.
Well, I wouldn't say we suck, Frank. Well, now I wouldn't. I don't know if I disagree with that now, but
when you suck, you need everyone in the field.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say we suck, but we're having when we're losing.
When you suck, you need everyone in the field.
All right. So they try to throw it under the table or brush it under the table, and
and no one cared.
Yeah. Hey Frank, so I have another surprise for you.
You got another surprise for me?
Yeah.
So Sean apparently decided to call my friend Sam. Sam knows me from years ago at college. He knows me back when I was a real.
Well, yeah, we had him on the show already, Frank.
Yeah.
He's
Exactly.
making his second appearance.
Oh.
You forgot?
No, I know. You told me to introduce him. I don't know what you want.
Give me that wine.
So anyway, Sam remembers me from a time where I was more scholastic. I wasn't a great student, but I was so interested in learning, I even went to his classes to sleep.
Oh, that's funny.
And true.
That reminds me of the time I brought my...
I literally went to his class and fell asleep.
That reminds me of the time I brought my ex-girlfriend into my class to do my notes for me.
Nah, that's just lazy. That's just lazy. How's it going up there in New York City? Cuomo's probably going to win again?
Yeah, probably.
So, another 4 years of being a third world country?
I mean, pretty much.
So why do you think he keeps winning, even though he's literally done nothing good?
Because it's a Democratic state.
Don't you have another Democrat? Anybody else?
Have you seen the other Democrats here? You have de Blasio. Would you rather have him?
No. But what about the guy that keeps sponsoring people to run against Trump, Bloomberg? He's intelligent. I really think him and Trump, what about Bloomberg? I mean, all he seems to do now is, he was mayor of New York City, now all he wants to do, he was a Republican back then. I think him and Trump at one point, went to a party, they had a big dick measuring competition, and Trump's dick must have been bigger, because he hates Trump so much, he went from being a Republican to a Democrat, and funding all the Democratic races.
Yeah, I mean, well, Trump used to be a Democrat.
Obviously, Trump was a Democrat because he was a real estate mogul, and if in real estate you have to bribe people, and in New York you have to bribe people anyway. So, I mean, it makes sense to be a Democrat because those two you have to bribe if you want to make money.
That's true, actually.
Right?
It's all about money, and how much you got coming in from the super PACs.
Right. But when they asked Trump, they go, "Why did Hillary Clinton go to your wedding?" He goes, "Well, I gave her so much money for her campaign, she had no choice."
That's true.
Yeah. How's it going up there? Is it cold yet? I was up there a few weeks ago in upstate New York because I had to go to a bachelor party, and down it almost started snowing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Long Island, which is nothing like upstate New York, but definitely have some good fall weather going on. We just had a nice storm come through last weekend.
So not a lot of snow? No snow,
No,
just rain and shit?
Yeah, just rain.
So you're a Redskins fan, right?
I'm still a Redskins fan. Nothing changed in the last 5 minutes.
So you're a racist. Because you like a team with a racist name.
I was raised a Redskins fan. This was not something that I chose to...
Lots of people that were raised in the KKK didn't choose that either. Now, as you know me, I'm a very PC man, so...
Yeah, right. That's a bunch of bullshit.
The fact that you
Fuck
like
that.
a racist team makes me feel like toasting you.
Fuck that, dude.
No, but anyway... So Redskins, do you think that's child abuse, being raised as Redskins?
Who's their quarterback? I still forgot.
Do you feel after
Smith.
Being raised a Redskins fan?
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith, but you think after being raised a Redskins fan, someone should have called child services, or what do you think?
Well, they won the Super Bowl in '92.
I know some Redskins fans, so watch it, man.
I was too then. You know some Redskins fans.
Yeah, I was in Richmond, Virginia. It's not too far. That's where their training camp is, in Richmond.
Am I offending you right now by slandering the Redskins?
No, I just know some people that are Redskins fans. I'm not...
Sam.
I'm not a huge Redskins fan.
Sam is a Redskins fan, and I'm personally making fun of them to his face.
Well, yeah, because you're a Giants fan. That's like a huge-ass rivalry.
Well, the Giants, they're a really bad team, because we have a statue as a quarterback, as I said earlier in the podcast.
Hey.
Right, the Giants played for a first-round pick.
Yeah, man.
I was convinced that they were going to screw it up yesterday and win.
Hey, Sam, you have the most vanilla, boring quarterback of all time.
That is true.
He
Like,
wins football games. Who
Yeah,
the frick cares?
but you know, has he done one interview with ESPN? You know, on national TV? I mean,
He does the post game interviews. I don't know.
you know,
That's
I
a
mean,
good question.
but the fact of the matter is, you know, he's accurate, and
Right.
He doesn't lose the game for you. He doesn't throw
he doesn't
picks.
fumble. Actually,
Right.
does he fumble?
He
I don't
doesn't
know.
do anything wrong.
He's
He's like
good at protecting the ball. And then we have AP, who's been playing,
Yeah, all day.
He's on the Vikings.
Yeah, all day.
Yeah.
Alex Smith is like that B student. He's not that smart. Like he's not gonna wow you with his deep ball,
Right.
but he's not like stupid, and he's not gonna throw like 10 interceptions a game like Eli Manning. He's like
Right.
that constantly vanilla, boring, that run of the mill person that wins football games
Right.
consistently
He's a cookie
because he
cutter
doesn't do
quarterback.
anything stupid. He doesn't do anything great, but he doesn't do anything stupid either.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, man. So, did you see my Jaguars are totally falling apart, Sam?
Yeah, what the hell happened there?
They suck.
I don't know, man.
They've sucked
You
for
know,
years.
Blake Bortles and everything. Well, what's happened is we lead the league in injuries.
Yes, excuses. That helps.
No, we really do. They picked this kid up. Hey, Sam. I think it was like last week or maybe the week before. We literally had all 4 tight ends on the IR.
Really?
Yeah. We actually had to call someone off the street and tell him he was starting. Seriously.
That could have been me. I should have been down there.
Not just on the team, starting.
I mean, Sam, you are like 10 feet tall. You probably could have made it.
Yeah, I know.
So, while Sam was down here, we rented a boat, and I decided at 1 a.m. I probably should get a license so I could drive it.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about this
so we
story.
did
Fuck
that.
all this. Yeah.
Sam, what do you think about my captaining skills?
Yeah, so what happened down here? What'd you guys
there.
do? What'd you guys do, Sam?
Well, we went over to, what's it called, Crab Island, right?
Yeah, we went to Crab Island.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Have you ever been there?
Me? No.
No. It's this really nice place. It's
Yeah.
think of like a little island out in the middle of the water, but it's covered in water.
Right.
So you're like, knee deep in water the whole time. It's
Sure.
Like you're walking around, and there's bars out there that are floating out there on the water.
That's cool.
It was pretty fun. We're driving, and I'm flooring it the whole 20 miles an hour it goes. I actually overheated the motor at one point.
Yeah.
We're sitting there, and the lightning's coming. Actually, someone from that worked at a different company came and told the other boat in front of us they had to bring the boat back in. And we're sitting there on the water, and there's lightning coming, and the motor won't start.
Oh, really?
So-
Holy shit.
No, but the boat was moving. It was going like 2 miles
It
an
was
hour.
going.
So
It was
he's
barely
trying
moving.
to figure out how to fix the motor while I'm steering it. Meanwhile, I don't even have a boating license.
Damn.
And he has his boating license that he got at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, so I got my
Takes
boating
4
license
hours.
at 5 o'clock in the morning, right? And I had to.
Wait a minute. You got why so early? Or what happened?
Well, I forgot. I didn't realize I needed one. So at 1 o'clock in the morning, I thought I could use my New York boating license. I realized at 1 o'clock in the morning that wasn't true. So I had to take a 3-hour course. I had to pick up the boat at 9 a.m. and I had to take a 3-hour course at 1 a.m. on how to get a boating license. So I got the boating license at 1 a.m. and I called Sam. I go, yo, Sam. So I wake up Sam after I'm done. I'm like, yo, Sam, if you want to get the boating license, it's about a 3-hour course and it's 5 in the morning. We got to pick up the phone at the boat at 8. I just got mine. Do you want to get yours? He rolled back over.
Yeah.
So I got my boating license. I was so tired, right? After 1 hour of sleep, I was so tired. They were like, "Can you type? What's your email?" And I'm like, "I don't know." So I had to give Sam my email. He's like, "I got to type it in." Like I'm completely confused at everything about around me because I'm so tired. And they're like, "Who's gonna drive the boat?" And I'm like, "Me." And they're just like,
How much alcohol was involved in this?
"We actually didn't drink that much. We were too busy having fun."
Yeah, that's true.
I don't believe that.
I had 2 beers. Sam had what? 1 Long
I
Island.
had that bushwhack.
Right. So you had a bushwhacker, and I had 2 beers, 3 beers maybe.
Yeah.
The water was warm. It rained a lot, but it was okay because in Florida it doesn't rain that long.
Right.
And we learned how to paddleboard, standing paddleboards. So that was cool.
I never would have thought I'd be able to learn that in like a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we had a lot of time on our hands. We were just chilling. We were on vacation.
How long were you down here for?
I was down there about 6 days.
Oh yeah, that's cool. So where did you guys go? Did you guys go like downtown to the club?
Yeah. Well, I brought him to a burlesque show, Bad Heart Burlesque. I love that. I love those girls. Not because they're naked girls. That adds to it. But the best part is the choreography is amazing because they're all psychopaths. You know what I mean? They're covered head to toe in tattoos. They're not always right in the head, and they're extreme nerds. You know, that nerd environment. You know what I mean? The tattoos, the gaming. So they had like Zelda, and like they had all these different. I kept having to ask Sam what they were talking about because I didn't know half the things, and he's like, "Oh, this is showing." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah.
They even did
every time they came out, they were wearing like different costumes and stuff.
Oh,
really?
yeah.
Like, what's
They
this?
did a
I'm
Game
like,
of Thrones
Star
one.
Trek. What's this? Star Wars. What's this?
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
And the one he was like, "This is Game of Thrones." I'm like, "I actually watched Game of Thrones." That was the one I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't watch it.
Yeah, it's a great show.
I don't watch it either, so you're not.
That's actually
alone.
my fantasy football team, Team Jon Snow.
Yup, it makes sense though.
Because all the women in the show always tell him, "John, you know nothing, Jon Snow." And based on my fantasy football record, either do I. So I changed my name to Jon Snow.
God, Frank, I'm getting a buzz off this wine, bro.
Well, you know, so did I when I was 10.
Fuck you, dude. What's going on in New York, Sam?
Just working like you as usual.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I mean, it's 9 o'clock here. I know it's 8 o'clock there, so you guys got some time.
So you do any wild and crazy things down there? Or... You're actually Sam's a black belt.
Oh, you're a black belt?
Oh yeah, I am.
Talk about that. When did you get that?
He's a 6'4". What? 6 foot? How tall are you? 6'3"?
Yeah, 6.
No, Sam.
6'3" black
Sam,
belt.
Sam, talk about that.
He's
How long?
built- he's
no,
built
I
in
want to
good
know.
shape.
I want to know about this for the show. So I want to know about the history. So tell me, when did you get this, and what's the story behind it?
All right, this is actually pretty cool because you know, this isn't something that I ever thought that I'd end up doing. But when I was in college, I took a martial arts class because one of my friends, his name's Sean, he actually lives in Pensacola too. He was taught Taekwondo at this local place in Oswego, and you know, he was taking this class on campus. I started to take that class, and he was this guy. He was really cool. Like, his name was Bodhi Spadora. Like, you never fucking hear a name like that. He could put his leg straight up above his head and hold it there. I mean, he just had immense skill.
Right.
And he got me into it. And then when I came back to Long Island, I was training at this ninjutsu place. I trained there under somebody who, you know, he trained in Japan under
Sure.
this guy who has lineage back to like ninjas, actual ninjas,
Sure.
which is, you know, pretty cool. And I trained there from December of 2012, and I got my black belt in August, actually.
Right. That's cool,
So-
man.
And I can tell you about
Trying to
this
keep
guy.
up with that.
So basically, what you're saying is you're tall and don't fuck with you, right? That's what you're saying.
I mean, yeah. Well,
In my life, I've met a lot of strong people, quite a few good fighters. I can tell you, I've never seen anyone throw a punch harder than this guy.
oh yeah.
He breaks every punch. You know the thing where you punch the thing and it tells you? He always breaks them because he punches too hard. He breaks the punch machine.
Yeah, that's funny. Do you go bar hopping or what? Or what kind of bars are around there?
I mean, it depends on where you want to go. You want to go in the city? You want to stay on the island? On the island, the bars are spread out a lot more.
Is Uber big over there, or is it still the whole taxi thing? Or do you take Uber?
Yeah, Uber's up here.
Lyft?
You know, that's probably like the main way to get around now.
Yeah.
Taxis used to be like the big thing. Like you think
Say
in New York,
cabs,
you picture like taxis and cars and shit, but
Right.
you know, now it's like becoming more Uber.
Sure.
Sam asked me if I would ever move back to New York, and I told him, I go, you know, I don't think I'd fit in, you know,
Right.
because you got all those jacked Guidos with the tight muscle shirts and the
Well,
gold
your
chains.
personality fits in.
I go,
Obviously.
I don't think I'd fit. Well,
When I first met Frank, I thought he was from Long Island, and when he said no, I was like, "Are you sure?" Like that's how much he looks like
Dude,
someone.
if I ever no, Sam.
then he saw where I was from, and he probably cried inside.
Hey, how do you think I would fit in New York, Frank?
They would kill you. They would walk over you.
No, listen. Hey,
They
hey,
wouldn't
Sam.
even acknowledge you.
Hey, Sam. If I
I'd
go,
kill yourself in the
Sam,
air.
if I go visit New York, will you show me around?
No.
I
He'll
didn't
show,
ask you. I asked Sam.
he'll show you around. I'll go do something else.
I never been to New York though. I want to.
You wouldn't like it.
I want to go to those. I want to go to those bars that you don't really know are bars. The ones that are on the side of the street.
Imagine a bunch of me's, only a lot ruder.
I've always wanted to go to New York though. I'll do it eventually, but.
But can you imagine a city full of me with only less manners? Can you handle that?
That's true.
8 million of me.
I'll figure it out.
You would hate it.
Well, I'll be drunk half the time. I'll be drunk half the time.
At $10 a beer?
Yeah. Exactly.
Is it really $10 for a beer?
Yeah.
Holy shit! How much is a shot of Jack?
Yeah, it's probably about the same, if not a little bit more.
What? Plus tip. This is without tip.
Yeah, man. So how drunk do you think you'll be?
Oh, probably a nice buzz. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta pack your wallet when you go out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And strip clubs are probably crazy.
They're interesting.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. About strip clubs in New York, is it full nude?
Some are, some, you know. I mean, the strip club is, and then you have like your titty bars, which aren't, you know. And then if you go to Times Square, you could have a little more.
Yeah.
So we just had actually a stripper comedian on earlier in this episode, and we actually have an episode with her. I don't know if you listened to that one.
But no, it's actually our second highest rated.
That's actually that's right up your alley. You and her probably friends, huh?
But
when me and Sam hang out, no one leaves with any money.
That's true.
No one ever has any money. At the end of it, and if we do have money, we get nervous and spend it.
Yeah.
Like,
all right. So hey Sam.
Yeah.
You got any football picks you want to make? Playoffs, or is it too early?
No, it's not too early. I want to look at the records right now.
No, I'm gonna eat more. I'm gonna eat more of that cake, Frank.
The whole playoffs?
Yeah, the whole 12 teams. The whole 12 teams.
Our NBA picks.
NBA picks.
Yeah, you remember that?
Oh yeah, that was the last time you were here.
Remember you guys remember who I picked? The Blazers? That was a total fail.
Yeah, but I mean,
I gotta go back and listen to that episode. Who actually did the best? I think you did, Sam. You actually had almost the right Final Four.
I think it was pretty close. All right, so let's see. I got the AFC East is going to be the Patriots, obviously. And then in the North, you'll have Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. And then in the South, you'll have Houston. And in the West, you'll have Chiefs.
I think you're number 1-2 there.
Wait, I can see the Chargers sneaking in.
I could see Chiefs going number 1 and Chargers going number 5. What do you think?
I think I would agree with that. And then let's see. So you have the Chargers as your wild card. They're gonna play probably Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I'd say Pittsburgh wins that. And then Pittsburgh's gonna have to play Kansas City, and that's gonna be the Texans against.
Oh, you're not picking Jacksonville?
Jacksonville's garbage.
No, I know. We're 3-5. I wouldn't pick us either.
And then so I have Kansas City against the Patriots, and the Patriots beat them actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know. I think I want to say the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
I can see that. What about the NFC?
And then in the NFC, you have the Redskins in the East. Let's see. It's pretty close in the North.
Yeah, I know. With Packers, right? Packers are up there.
Yeah, you got the Packers, the Vikings, and the Bears, and the Lions even. They're all in it.
I'll tell you what, though. Isn't Khalil Mack injured, or was he just out for that game?
I don't know. Did he get injured?
I think he was out.
He was out for that game, yeah. He's out. I don't think he's hurt.
But he's the X factor.
I think even with Khalil Mack, I think that team is probably the best. I don't know, but the Vikings, they have Adam Thielen and they have Stephon Diggs and they have Latavius Murray as their backup because the real one is the guy from Florida State is their real starter who is I don't know. I have a hard time seeing the Vikings. The Vikings are
Who is that?
What?
The Vikings back.
It's the guy from Florida State.
Oh, Cook,
but he's hurt, and then Latavius Murray's their backup, who's been playing well. The thing about it is, they have so much talent, but why do they keep losing, Sam?
Oh, because they have my favorite quarterback.
Your favorite quarterback, who is that guy?
Cousins.
Yeah, the guy that has like a fucking ironclad contract.
Kirk Cousins is the worst quarterback on the planet.
But he puts up such good stats.
Yeah, but doesn't he have an ironclad contract?
But he's horrible.
Well, no, Sam, and there's a no trade clause, correct? I'm pretty sure that there's a no trade clause.
But anyway, so they already saying that Kirk Cousins, even 8 games into the season, they saying that he's a bust already.
Everyone's already putting the panic button.
Frank, when was I saying he was a bust? What week was I saying he was a bust?
Week 1. So who do you think comes out of the North?
I'm gonna actually ride the Bears.
The Bears?
Yeah.
That's a good pick with that defense. So the East, you said the Redskins, right?
Right. I got Redskins and Bears so far. And then in the South, that's where I think you're going to get your wild card team. So you'll have the Saints and the Panthers. And then in the West, you got your Rams.
Who do you think in the last wild card? There's 2 wild cards.
There's 2 wild card teams, sir.
Okay, so there's
baseball is where there's only.
Yeah, you're thinking baseball playoffs.
Well, the wild cards play each other, but no, in the NFL it's still 2 wild card teams.
Remember when we did the AFC? You picked the Chargers and you picked the Bengals.
Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah. All right, so then you have the Bears, Saints, Panthers, and who's the other one gonna be?
Bears, Saints, Panthers.
I'll give it to the Vikings.
The Vikings. So you think two out of the North?
Yeah.
What do you think about the Bucks now that Fitzpatrick was named the starter?
Fitzmagic.
Do you think they come back?
Oh, he was named the starter today?
He was named the starter today.
I think. Oh, they still ended up losing with him though.
No,
Yeah,
they lost. They lost.
They lost after he came back. They lost by 3 after he got put in with an 18. They were down 18-0 when they put him in the game, and they lost by a field goal at the end of the game.
He keeps setting records.
You don't think if he plays the whole game they're going to be good?
How were they with him in the beginning of the season?
They were the number 1 offense in the
They were
league.
good. They were
the
good.
number 1 offense in the NFL.
You know, and then
But he's never any good though. How is he good?
Who?
Doesn't make sense. Fitzpatrick.
he's been up and down his whole career.
Yeah,
He's
had good games.
He was decent. He was decent in Buffalo.
Yeah, he played for the Bills and the Jets.
And then he got sent somewhere else
He
too.
also played for the Texans.
And he did play for the Texans. The thing about him,
he's hit or miss.
He's like Hoyer. He's like all these. He's like McCown. He's like all these journeymen.
No, but he's better than most of the journeymen.
He plays like a Pro Bowler half the year, and the other half the year he plays like Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when he's on though, he's tough.
Do I sound like someone that's ready to move on to a new starting quarterback?
Yes.
Well, you know, like I was telling him earlier in the episode, the Giants drafted that kid out of Richmond.
Richmond. He thinks they should start the guy from Richmond.
I'm biased because I'm from there. I live like 2 minutes from the campus, but
he's not from there.
They should keep doing what they're doing. Lose their
no, but I live like
a number 1 pick quarterback.
1 in 15.
I could walk where he went to school. I could walk there.
That's worse than the Browns.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
this year, yeah.
No, but this kid set all the records at Richmond though, like destroyed them. So the Giants should.
That's like saying the guy broke
No,
all
but
the
he
records in high
destroyed.
school.
He destroyed.
He should play in the NFL.
And he was a Senior Bowl MVP. I think the Giants should put him in.
I mean, honestly, they could put Mickey Mouse in. I don't care.
But what would you think if they put this kid in?
I wouldn't think. I would just be like, can he throw the ball? I don't care.
He can. He's pretty good.
I mean, you can't be any worse than what they have.
They're like, with the offensive line isn't blocking, but Eli, you hold the ball for 10 seconds, you don't even move. They're like, but he's not fast. I'm like, but he can move a little bit. So he's just not standing there as a target for 10 seconds.
He's old.
Like,
He's old.
You know what I'd like
He
to
can
see?
make a step. Even my grandfather, when he was alive, could probably
Could move
walk.
out of the pocket.
He could probably walk. I mean, he doesn't even try to move. He just sits there and he's like, they touch him, he's like, oh, I'm falling.
You know what? You know what I'd like to see? Eli
What?
goes right. He leaves the Giants at the end of the year, and he goes and plays for his old coach.
Jacksonville? I don't think. Do you think Jacksonville wants him? He throws so many interceptions.
I mean, he can't be worse than what they have.
Yeah, Blake Bortles.
That is pretty bad. Blake Bortles is single-handedly the reason they're losing.
The injuries are an issue though, Frank.
They're like, oh, Fournette got hurt. We got Yeldon.
No, there's a lot of injuries.
Let's bring in Jamal Charles. Oh wait, he had a bad game. Let's bring in Carlos Hyde. Let's bring everybody in. Is there anyone else? Let's bring Emmitt Smith in. Can we get him out of retirement?
Yeah.
Shit.
We're trying to get all these running backs in.
Everybody.
You know.
Well, I mean, I didn't finish my football, so I have Vikings against Panthers.
Okay.
Say the Panthers win that, right? Then you have, let's see, who are they going to play?
The Vikings and Panthers.
Yeah, they would have to play the Rams, right?
Panthers would probably be the 5 seed, so they would have to play the 3 seed, which would most likely be the Bears.
Who's your wild card picks? The Panthers and Vikings are your wild card picks?
Yeah, that's it.
Do you see any of them making a run?
Any other teams making a run at the
Any of those two teams making a run to the Super Bowl?
Do you think the Panthers or the Vikings are going to go to the Super Bowl?
No, I think the best matchup here is Saints-Rams.
Saints-Rams.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean,
Will
the Rams were my pick to win the Super Bowl, Frank. You can go back and look at their preview show. They were my pick.
I wouldn't be surprised if they finish like 15 or more.
Would you be surprised if they go undefeated, though? Completely undefeated for the rest of the year?
No, they're not going to.
No, I would not be surprised.
They're not going to, though.
They do play the Chiefs.
They play the Saints still, right?
They play New Orleans week 9, next week.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
But that defense, man. I've heard analysts say that defense isn't strong. What do you think?
Who?
The Rams.
The Rams? I think they have a great defense.
I do too, but I heard some analysts say that their secondary sucks.
Who's their secondary?
I know they got Peters, and that's all I know.
Let me see.
But
if I
that
can
defensive
look
line
that
is dangerous. That defensive line is dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Donald and
Isn't Dominic Sue there too?
the Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is.
Is he?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me confirm that.
You get mugged by that defensive line.
Yeah, he's on. Wow, he's on the Rams.
Yeah, they probably overpaid and
Well, it doesn't matter because look at the Giants. Their secondary, they won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Their secondary was garbage, and their defensive line just beat the quarterback up.
yeah, that's a good
Oh,
point
they have
too.
Akeem Talib, dude,
And they have Peters, right?
and Sam Shields. Those are their cornerbacks.
Yeah, that's
Sam
pretty.
Shields-
That's pretty stacked.
Sam Shields is still alive?
Well, Talib didn't Talib get pushed out of every place he's been pretty much.
He went to Denver for years, but I mean, the no-fly zone
Lamarcus
is...
Joyner is the free safety.
Who?
Lamarcus Joyner.
Oh yeah. He went to FSU back in the day.
John Johnson is the
Well,
strong
no.
safety.
I don't know him, but I know Joyner. Joyner's legit.
Well, I mean, the strong safety doesn't matter. You just need someone that can hit hard.
Joyner's legit though.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, so basically they're doing what the Bengals used to do, which was we'll take all these old guys and put them in the secondary that used to be really good. They're a little slow, but they'll be okay because our defensive line is amazing with Donaldson and freaking Sue. I think that's a decent defense. I think
The Redskins never should have let go of McVay.
they should never what?
Let go of
McVay?
McVay.
So who's your
Yeah.
Super Bowl pick? Who do you think's gonna win the whole thing?
The Rams.
Yeah, me too. Frank, you're gonna go with whatever you said in the preview. I forgot what you said in the preview show.
Who knows? I probably said the Browns.
No, you didn't say the Browns. I think you did say the Rams. Because you picked Rams and somebody else.
The Rams are good, but you got a lot of stars on the Rams. And
I'm
the
pretty
problem,
sure you
the
picked
problem
the
about
Rams.
having a lot of stars on the team is at some point they're gonna get cocky. But they are the best team, so I mean you got to pick
I
them.
don't know who you picked though, but I think it was the Rams were.
You got to
near
pick the Rams to win it right now because they are the best team. Their ego's not gonna kill them.
Sam, you got any sensible thoughts for the show?
Sensible.
Or cynical, whatever. Which one?
Cynical thoughts. Let's see.
Sensible or cynical?
I think maybe we should start doing China's one kid policy. That'd be nice.
Oh, so that's your cynical thought?
Yeah, that's my cynical thought. This way it'll lessen like traffic. You want as many idiots around. There's a lot of upside to that. I think.
Frank, what do you think about that?
You know, I gotta agree with Sam.
There's a lot of kids. Yeah.
I gotta agree with Sam. I think my sensible thought would be, abortion isn't a bad thing.
I'm going to go sensible as well. I think, Sam, I appreciate you coming on here and actually making Frank smile because no one else can in his life.
Sean really gets offended by everything I do.
That's not true.
And as Sam can tell you, I'm a very nice person. I'm
Frank
not
used to
offensive.
tell me every single day that he was going to hit me over the head with a 2x4.
Oh,
I'll
really?
listen to him. Yep.
Every single day.
I'm eating this cake right in front of his face, Sam.
How about
Nice.
these days, Sam? I used to always tell Sam I'm gonna come right back, and he'd never wait for me, ever.
Well, you sound like you sound like someone from the Notebook.
No. Okay, so he would be like, I'm going to hang out with my frat brothers. I'd be like, alright, I thought you were hanging out with us. What the hell? I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, don't worry, I'll be back by 11 o'clock.
3 a.m.
3 a.m. Where the fuck is Frank? I'm going to bed.
I'd come home at 3 a.m. every night. He wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be there. 3 a.m. I'd come home every night.
Yeah, because I went to bed.
I don't understand. There's plenty to do at 3 a.m.
Like what?
Party.
Dude, you know what I was doing? You really thought I was going to stay up that late?
I know what you're doing.
All right,
You
I
never
think this
know.
is
You could have been motivational. So Sam, what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? You think I should stay in Florida or should I come back to New York?
Where in New York, or do you want to go?
Utica.
No, stay in Florida.
What if I said Long Island?
Come to Long Island.
I don't know if I'd fit in.
You
Huh?
might run into your long-lost brother or something.
What'd you say?
I said it'd be like you found home. You'd probably
What?
run into like a long-lost relative.
What would I do with those jacked Guidos with their muscle shirts and
Yeah.
their gold necklaces, their Italian horns and crosses?
You'd fit in perfectly.
They'd probably tell me I'm not doing it right. Someone last week told me that you can't wear the horn and the cross because they counteract each other and you get bad luck. That explains a lot, but regardless. All right, Sam. Well, you got to go to bed, don't you?
I'm getting there.
All right, thanks, man.
Alright, no problem.
And remember, Sam.
I'm listening.
It's better if you sit in your hand first because it goes numb and then it feels like a stranger. Best game in the world.
All right, take it easy, bro.
You too.
Oh yeah. So anyway, we had someone on this podcast. She's a friend of mine and Sean's. Her name is Nicole. I still don't know why she gave Sean her numbers. As anyone hasn't realized, like most things on this podcast,
But
Sean just
no,
does
it's
things
not like
and I have to do it.
It's not.
It's all for you, Frankie. It's all for you. you.
Okay, so anyway, so Nicole,
Yes.
tell us about your travels through Asia this summer. What do you think about their stupid customs?
So Singapore is just like a big city, pretty much. I mean, there was really nothing super like interesting or cultural about that. I mean, and a lot of people like that, but it's just the big city feel. I didn't really get much out of that as far as like a cultural or like it didn't feel different like places I hadn't been before. I really enjoyed Indonesia. I think I will go back there because I didn't get to kind of like fully experience it. I didn't have enough time there, but like from a cultural standpoint, like I think that was really beneficial. Like just I got to see a lot of temples and different kinds of like ceremonies, and the people there are super friendly. And it's just totally a completely different like way of life in general. You know, like we don't really get that over here. I mean, it's a bit a poorer country. You know, it's just, you don't really see that as much over here, and, like, people are just very grateful. It's always neat meeting different, like, kind of, like, meeting people from different cultures, and, like, there's people, you know, that they're all from there, and that's all they've ever known, really, and
Right.
how they make a living and things like that. It's just very different from over here, and it's, like, humbling, like, seeing places like that. You know, other than tourism, it's, like, there's really not a whole lot of economy, you know, like, there's not really much else.
So it's like Florida.
Like Florida, yeah.
So anyway, I know I was looking at a picture not too long ago about the water and a pool going over the cliff, and you told me it's not like that.
Oh yeah, that was Singapore. I mean, they have some cool stuff to see, but it's not really a cultural experience. It's more like this big city and flashy and like Vegas, kind of, you know.
So what do you think about the hooker experience? Is there a lot of hookers, drugs, alcohol?
Yeah, the cartels.
Did you get to go to any of those places?
No, I didn't experience any hookers or drugs. They're actually really strict about drugs over there.
Oh, really?
Like, it's like death for drug trafficking. Like even with prescription medication, some of the prescriptions over here are considered illegal. Like
Yeah, so
over there, and you can't even bring them in the country with you.
So how many prescriptions did you bring over there that you didn't bring back because they got confiscated?
No, nothing got confiscated. But I mean, like if you were on like pain medication and things like that, you needed like notes, a note from your physician and like a copy of your script. And like they're pretty like strict on if you get caught with like narcotics and things like that. So,
Okay.
like if it's not prescribed to you. So I mean, their drug laws are actually really, really strict. If you want like drugs, go to Mexico.
Yeah, fair enough. They got plenty. They're actually bringing them here. They're actually hand delivering them. They're marching them here. So we'll have a lot soon. So what do you think about the planes? I'm sorry.
That's not. Yeah, you don't go there for drugs. That's not their thing.
yeah.
So
But
what?
yeah, it's fun. It was a good experience.
It was a great experience. What's your favorite place you ever traveled?
Oh my god, I've been asked that like 3 times this week.
This week.
So hard to choose because everything's so different.
Well, that's
yeah,
the
I
most.
know a lot of-
That's the most generic question ever, right?
It's very generic, but I mean that's a good question. It's just hard to choose because each place is so different. Like it's just hard to compare.
Right.
And to pick a favorite because like they're all my favorites in different ways and for different things.
Well,
you
pick
know?
one.
But that's what I said to the last person that asked me that. I said, honestly, like, I liked Australia because it's somewhere I would live.
Right.
Like, everywhere else I've been, there's things I love about it, there's things I hate about it, but I honestly don't think it's somewhere, it's fun to visit, but it's not somewhere I could actually, like, live.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely loved Australia. Like, I would move there if I could. That was my favorite place as far as, like, somewhere I could see myself, like, spending more time, like, other than just vacationing, like spending long periods of time over there.
Fair enough. Now, you said you wanted to go back to Indonesia. Now, planes seem to always fall out of the sky over there in Indonesia. Does that hurdle your want to keep traveling there?
You didn't hear about the airplane stuff?
Airplanes?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't watch the news.
Oh, yeah. It's better that way. Actually, I feel like people that don't watch the news live happier lives.
Like
really.
my brother.
All I knew about was the earthquake. We had some aftershocks while we were there, but...
Well, tell her what happened.
Are you sure we're talking about the same country?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell her what happened.
A Boeing 737 went into the water.
Over Indonesia?
Yeah,
When did this happen?
about yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you usually find out
She's
about
like, oh, it was yesterday. Never mind.
Today's a new day. She's perfectly confident now.
I don't watch the news. I mean, I'll get bits and pieces of things, like, but I don't even have cable, so.
Me either, actually.
What do you have? Netflix?
Yeah, I just watch Netflix, and I don't watch a lot of TV because I don't really have time anyway, but I do watch Netflix, like.
Yeah.
Cable's definitely
Hill
overrated.
House, that's the name of the new one. That's a good one. That's random and not travel subject, but.
No, whatever you want to talk about. I don't care.
So,
Something on Hill House or whatever. I think that's the name of it.
what?
So I just started that, the new Netflix, like a horror kind of like thriller series.
I never heard of it.
Hill House.
No, never heard of it.
I think that's the name of it, but it's really good. That's what I've been watching.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I think it's Haunting of Hill House. Like, I can't really remember. I think that's the name of it, though.
No, I hear you
That,
there.
the Halloween, so I've been, like, watching American Horror Story again.
Oh. You know, after that one girl got raped by that ghost, I've never been able to watch American Horror Story again. That was the first season.
It's pretty out there, yeah, pretty weird, but, like, I think, yeah, the first one's okay. I think the third and fourth seasons are better, but, like, just started at Shameless, the last season.
Shameless? It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best show out there, isn't it?
No, it's the best. So I just started season 9, like, the final, or the most recent.
Right, and the thing about Shameless is, it reminds people, I think, sometimes too much of real life.
Again, never saw it, so you guys can, you know.
You wouldn't understand it. It's fine.
Man, I don't watch.
Shameless.
Sean wouldn't understand.
All right, cool. So what is it? So
It's Shameless. It's about real life and people that are poor. And,
how long
you know,
has it been out?
Some 9 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes me feel like shit.
It's
All
a
right.
great show.
It's a great
It's
show,
funny,
really.
like, I don't know, it's got a good storyline, too. Like, it's not just, like, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous at times, but I feel like the story, like, you kind of, like, the characters are well developed. You kind of, like,
Right,
really
but
get
it
into
would take me
vibe.
it would take me like a month to catch up from 9 seasons. So is
Well-
it something I can jump in like 9 seasons in?
No. So,
Oh,
anyway,
no, you gotta start it from the beginning.
Oh God.
Nicole, so what do you think about dating?
Yeah,
You've had a lot of success dating. Do you have any advice?
Dating advice.
On a good relationships?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm the person to answer those kind of questions.
What do you think makes a relationship last?
Honestly, like, somebody that, like, I was having this discussion with my coworker, but, like, you have to, like, be friends with that person. Like, there's a problem if, like, something happens and,
So it
like,
has-
you're not wanting to call that person you're dating to tell them, like,
Right, so there has to
like,
be like a
I'm like, oh, I need to call my best, well, usually girls will call their best friend
Right,
first,
there has-
but it's way down the chain of people you talk to things about,
Right.
and you're not close enough, like, you're on that friend level, then, like, that's not gonna work, yeah.
right.
It's
There
kind
has
of like
to,
a dildo, really.
no. Let me give. I think I know what you're talking about. There has to
Like,
be like
a
a
what?
no. I
If,
feel
if,
like,
if you have someone that you're in a relationship with
No.
and you don't like to talk to them about important things, it's kind of like having a dildo.
I think I know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's a
Nicole.
good analogy.
I think I know what you're talking about because all the good marriages that I've heard from is that people call like they're their best friend. If you have that core relationship that goes down to a friendship, I think that's what you can rely. Am I right or wrong? There's like that. There's a core friendship there. That
The
you can-
core friendship part.
right. And then you
Yeah, no,
and then
I
you
agree
build
with
on
that.
top of that.
Because, like, other things will go by the wayside, but if they're not somebody, like, you communicate
Right.
with,
If it's not someone you can 100% trust when the chips are down.
Right.
So
I don't know. I think that's, like, super important. Like,
So-
I'm not saying that's, like,
No, I know what you're saying.
you'll be best friends and then decide you just want to be friends. Like,
Right.
Someone you actually like
But
as a person.
if you're not friends, it's not going to work for...
Basically, what she's saying is, if shit goes south, you have something to rely on.
No, I think she said you actually have to like the person's personality. I think that's what she said.
Yeah, you have to like the personality and like
Trust
I
them
mean,
and things.
honestly, like I said, when something happens, they should be like one of the first few people you're thinking about calling. If they're not somebody you can, call or lean on, like when you need to talk to somebody, then I think that's like a red flag.
Yeah,
Like,
red flag. Yeah.
you're calling all your friends and they're like the last person you really want to talk to about something. Like, that makes sense, right?
Absolutely.
So how long were you in, what was it, Asia?
I think it was like almost 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Like a super long trip though. Like, that's why I kind of want to do a few places, because I mean, it takes a day and a half to get there, you know, so.
Yeah. Yeah, was it one of those trips where you couldn't, like, wait for it to, like, were you getting, like, burnt out? Were you ready for it to go? Or was it one of those trips where it's, like, it could go on forever and you wouldn't be tired?
Like I said, I loved Australia. I didn't really want to leave. Like, I was
Okay.
like, I can just, like, never leave here ever again. But, like,
Right.
then I got to Singapore, and it was just not really my style. Like, I mean, some people, maybe that's their thing, but it's just, like, a big city, and, I mean, it's super clean, super, like, I mean, just complete 180 from Bali, but, I mean, it's just kind of like New York, but clean, and, like...
Right.
That sounds like a drag.
I don't know.
Who likes
It's just
cleanliness?
a big city. It has some cool things. But
I don't like cleanliness.
I mean, I can do big cities, other places that are kind of more my style, you know. It was just very, like, urban.
All right. Well, so, Nicole, we usually end the podcast with sensible and cynical thoughts. What do you think good advice is as far as traveling or as far as...
Yeah, traveling advice.
Okay, traveling advice.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, do it. It doesn't matter, like, what you have to sacrifice to do it. Like, if it's something you really want to do, like, somewhere you really want to see, like, I think that's, like, really important to get the experience, and, like, you'll figure out how to pay for it later if that's the case. Like,
Oh, yeah. So basically what you're saying is just charge the credit card. You worry about it later? I'm just kidding.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it'll work out in the end, like, you know, but, like, don't, you know, you can sacrifice other things to travel, you know?
Right.
Like, you just stupid little shit, like, oh, I eat out for lunch every day, like, that shit adds up, you know what I mean? Travel's super important, like, it will just make you a better person, and it puts things into perspective, and, like, buying shit can't do that.
I don't know. I really like my couches.
Enhance your life in a way that, like, the memories and things like that. I don't think people really appreciate that until they, like, go, like, on a trip they've always wanted to go on, you know? Like,
Right.
saved up and worked their ass off and, like, gone on a really cool trip. Like, yeah, it kind of hurts when you get home and you're like, ooh, my checking account. Like,
Right, when you look at when you look at the stub, stubs.
Come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come back, work some extra. You can make up for it, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Something you really want to do. Like, don't sacrifice something you really want to do. You know? Because you'll never do it if you don't just fucking jump out there and do it. You'll never do it. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm forever, like, planning my next trip.
Oh, really? Where you
look
think?
forward to, you know?
Where are you thinking?
I think I'm going to go to Iceland.
Oh, I hear it's. I don't know, like, 100%, but a couple of my Facebook, like, friends I know off Facebook, they've been there a couple times, so I hear it's good up there.
Yeah, I'm going to do Iceland, and I think Switzerland, like, next.
Yeah.
Because I haven't really done the winter snowy kind of thing.
Yeah, that sounds cool, though. You can go skiing and stuff.
Yeah, but it's just, like, it's fun to just kind of have something to look forward to. Like, even if it's just, like, hey, next year I'm going to do something. Just something to kind of, you know, plan and forward to. Keep things, like, interesting. Like, when you're getting up going to work, it's something to kind of be, like, end goal, you know?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
With anything, other people have other end goals, but I feel like I just want to travel right now. So.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for listening to the 50th episode of Sensibly Cynical. If you could subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, we would really appreciate it. Take care.